Hi there, this is the Biz Lounge. I'm Mark. Nothing seems to be able to perk up the FTSE 100 today, not even the surprise doubling of profits at UK bank group Lloyds. Now, a bit earlier, the main index was down more than 0.5% at 7252. Now, Lloyds, as I said, the runaway leader in the UK market, up 3.75% at almost 70 pence after reporting a whopping £1.3 billion profit in the first quarter, and that's despite still paying fines and compensation for past sins. But my stock in focus today comes from another sector altogether, but one that's also been through the mill recently. I'm talking about the energy market, and I'm thinking about BP as my next stock buy. Now, the shares are down about 13% since the start of the year, and they may not have bottomed out yet. But who wants to buy at the top, eh? The company also pays a chunky dividend, currently equivalent around 6%, which I find quite tempting, even if you don't get the share price growth. Now, BP has a fairly low price earnings ratio, about 11. That's just a metric that helps compare the value of listed companies. And BP is cheaper than a lot of other stocks around at the moment. Also, you've got things like consumer confidence in Europe, which we heard today, apparently at the highest for a decade. And I think the global outlook for energy looks promising after a tough couple of years. Now, BP is also due to report on its first quarter after the May bank holiday next week on Tuesday, so I'm keeping a close eye on that. Buying into oil, is it a good idea? Let me know what you think. Finally, big boss time, and it's been reported that Sir Richard Branson is helping to fund anti-Brexit campaigner Gina Miller in her efforts to skew the upcoming UK snap election result. Now, the aim is to try to get us voters to pick MPs that don't rule out the UK remaining part of the European Union at some point in the future. Are we still banging on about that? Now, I've met Sir Richard and Gina a number of times in the past, and they're both really lovely people, both very inspiring. And I think that instead of trying to campaign against the political system, they should both enter the world of politics themselves and get stuck in as MPs. They'd both definitely make Westminster a much more interesting, lively and glamorous place. And more importantly, they'd really have a proper platform from which to convince us of their views. What do you think, Sir Richard, Gina? Have a think about that over the bank holiday weekend, why don't you? I'll see you next week on Tuesday. Have a great one.